Are your crochet pieces stiff? Do they look like they could be worn by a little boy? Do you want your pieces to go from this to this? Then don't block out what I'm going to teach you, and don't block me for saying this. In my crochet sweater, I was saying the importance, I've said this in a lot of my videos, how you crochet any sweater that you want or how to improve your crochet clothes. I have mentioned blocking. And it sounds confusing, it sounds advanced, but I'm here to tell you, it is not. It is actually quite simple. And I don't do all that extravagant stuff because I am in college, and who really has the space for all that? Not me. Even though this blocking can be used in many different ways, and there's lots of different methods, but this is the easiest one that I like to use because I'm here to make things easy. I don't know if you get that theme in my channel. I will never take the hard route. Easy, but still clean and effective. This will mostly be for sweaters, tops, anything. It's more just to loosen the fabric. Blocking is essentially a way to use water and warmth as a way to shape the fabric. Sometimes people use this with granny squares or just different things in general. It's a wide range of uses for blocking. I use this most for sweaters because I am very much so a sweater girl, and as you can see, my pieces, they'll come out stiff, and I'll even make them just a little bit smaller so that when I block them, it's more natural, it's more flowy, and it makes it gives it that big store-bought look if you want to make it look clean and professional instead of it being stiff. It also makes it softer too. But when the moisture is added, either from steaming or different ways, that's the method we're going to be using, is steaming. Or other people, I know they have used, like, you soak it in water, then you roll it, then you pin it down, but I don't, no, just too much. You're gonna need 3 things to get started. You're going to need a hanger to hang your piece on, and then you're going to need a wall to hang the hanger on, and then you need a steamer. You probably most likely already have all these things. If you don't have a hanger and a wall, maybe don't spend money on yarn and figure out a way to get those things. And if you have a steamer already, that's great. Honestly, I started steaming my stuff because of crochet, but now I steam my regular clothes, and I realize how much more efficient this is because, like, I don't have the space for an iron board. But if you don't have a steamer, I also have it linked to my Amazon storefront, and you can honestly just go to Amazon, go anywhere, just get a steamer. Mine maybe was like $20, and it's quite efficient. So then you're going to fill up the steamer, and then you are going to let it warm up, has to boil, and then you will see all the steam coming out. And then once you have all that, you're going to go to your piece, and for example, for the sweater, for all your pieces, you're going to have a front and a back. So you want to make sure that you steam it completely, and I really drag my pieces out. I really like to pull my pieces down, and it really gives it that long, stretchy, oversized look, because I will make all my sweaters and cardigans and everything oversized because I feel like that's more of a crochet thing, because, you know, it's harder to make crochet like tight fabric, so I always do that oversized look. So I like to really yank it down. I yank down the sleeves and I yank down just the body, but then you want to make sure you get every single piece, because once you do one side, you want to flip it over, do the other side. Even if you want to completely get the dramatics, I don't usually do this, but you could even flip it inside out and do that too. But yeah, depending on the stitch that you're going to be using, for this sweater I had half double crochet, so it stretches a lot, like it definitely expands a lot, but not as much as triple crochet, which I've had sweaters literally triple. I don't know, triple's exaggerating it, but they definitely stretched a lot because that stitch is more loose, like you can already see through it, and it's just completely loose. But if you had something like single crochet, it probably is not going to stretch as much, but it's still going to be flowy. Honestly, I don't use single crochet that much, so I made leg warmers, but with single crochet back loop, but I haven't blocked them yet, but I plan to. But I'm assuming it's just going to make it less stiff. It's not going to really stretch it out as much, but we can only hope. Well, actually, no, I do want to stretch it out. But for single crochet, if you really want to stretch it, I'm just like, you really have to stretch it yourself. That will like make sure that each of the fibers get exposed to more steam so that it stretches out more. You definitely want to keep this fact in mind, that maybe when you're making a crochet piece, don't make it exactly your size, especially when it comes to sleeves. You can get away with this in other parts of the garment, like, oh, my piece is accidentally a little longer now in like the body part or in the neck. Like, that's fine, that's not a big deal. But then when you have sleeves that are going all the way down, that's kind of problematic, and it kind of changes the piece a lot. And honestly, I feel like the sleeves is the part that stretches the most. I don't know why, but I've just noticed this. It's usually fine in most of my pieces, but even when I'm making, if I'm using half double crochet, I'll even make it like a little bit above my wrist, because I know it's going to expand like that. But if it's triple crochet, honestly, you're going to learn a lot of this from experience, but I'm really mostly talking about acrylic yarn, because that's usually the yarn that I use the most. I don't typically crochet with other yarn because I honestly can't afford it. One of these days I will, but honestly the whole point of me crocheting is to make things less expensive so that I don't have to buy stuff, and it's just creative and efficient way to make stuff. But this works best, I think it's with acrylic yarn, because like scientifically it's made of plastic, and that's why it like melts. This is just, I'm not even fact checking this is literally just me hearing stuff through the grapevine. But yes, hopefully I'm right. If I'm wrong, you know, please be nice about it in the comments. You definitely want to keep in mind the fact that this is going to stretch and make your pieces a little bit shorter than you would like it to be. But you also don't want to do it too short, but maybe too short isn't bad, because you could go back and add more rows later. But you could also take off rows. Honestly, you just have to try and error it. I made this whole patchwork cardigan tutorial, or not cardigan, I'm actually going to patchwork sweater tutorial, and then I realized that I made it a whole square too long, and that 2 squares was like the perfect amount, but I literally had to go and cut off that last square that I crocheted in order for it to fit. But this is literally takes you less than 20 minutes to just upgrade your piece so much. Like, it makes it look so much better, as you can see. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed learning the building blocks of crochet. I am such a big advocate for blocking your pieces, because honestly it makes it like a million times better. It just makes it more professional and less stiff. Something with crochet, even it just makes it less itchy too. Like, sometimes crocheting can be itchy and annoying and not okay, but you definitely should block. And it sounds like a daunting process at first, but honestly a lot of stuff in life lesson right here, seems daunting until you break it down and you realize it really isn't. That all you need is a steamer and yourself and just going up and down.